nation, and it is. And today you're going to find out why that is. You're going to find out who that is. You're going to find out who's helping per perpetuate that sentiment going on against you. And the sad thing about it is, our people, most of them, don't care to find out this information and find out who they are, their history, and things of that nature. But today you're going to find out that, I might as well tell you, because I don't like to hold them from you. This is Jesus doing all of this stuff to you. And you're going to find out the hand of your twin brother has a lot to do with the downfall over us as African Americans or Negroes or whatever they changed our name to for this time. So I will be playing a couple of videos, and so I put that on the screen, and that has to be up when I play the videos. I did play it, so I'm not intended to offend anybody with these videos. They're all out on the internet. These things that you're going to see are not hidden from your eyes if you did a slight bit of research. But again, brothers and sisters, and I'm not going to talk too much on this one. Let me see. That's probably my boy. That's my boy. There you go. What's up, my brother? Happy Sabbath to you. So what you're going to realize on this video that and my boy got his verses in late. We're probably going to do a part 2 with just his. He had a lot of scriptures that I saw late that we're going to have to bring to you, because these type of titles, I think it's important to him when he put them out, like the Head Buster and what do you call it? This one is called wherever you go, Israel, there's a dark cloud over you. So somebody's perpetuating this dark cloud on you, and our conditions tell it. And the thing about it is, all of this is written in the pages of the Bible. We don't know who, we don't care, we don't even think of this being us that this happened to. But if you pick up and read this Bible, if you had found somebody to show you these things, you will understand that there is a extreme plot against you. However, it's because of your ways. And we can't blame anybody for this behavior, because we did not have to be here. This was a choice that our ancestors made, and we are paying the price for it. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Happy Sabbath. I'm gonna let you handle that chat stuff, because once I get to going, I ain't stopping. I'm going all the way. I'm going hard with it. Okay. So if you see anybody in the chat, you speak to them for me. I talk afterwards. But once I start, it's probably gonna get real rough. Okay. So for without further ado, I'd like to tell you where you're going with me, what you're gonna see and what you're gonna hear tonight. You're going to find out, if you just joined or you pick this tape up or whatever you call it, you watch this YouTube casting, you will notice that I am going all over from the Old Testament to the New Testament. And I like to put that out there because the Lord God gave instructions on how to read the Bible, because a lot of times people will read it as a novel, just straight through, and it is not written that way. It is written like he told you, and I'm going to read that. I don't have it on the screen, but I always like to go to Isaiah 28, so you remember when you see what I'm doing, and then you'll see how this story comes out. Then you'll understand a little bit more. And go back and watch a lot of those lessons that I've done in the past. If you subscribe and share and like this video to Jansen Williams' name. Coming soon, we got our new logo, which is MOG, Men of God, and you'll be able to easier find us more easier on here. And I think the subscribers may go up. But for right now, share, subscribe, click like on this video, and go through all those videos that we will search these scriptures out for your edification and for ours as well too, because it's actually our job and your job if you're watching this video, everybody, so that you'll get this. But I like to just start off reading Isaiah 28, so you'll know why I'm going back and forth like that, and it'll make sense a little bit at a later time. It might not come now, but you'll see why. So I'm gonna go, but before I start even saying my prayers, opening up. I'm gonna go to Isaiah 28 and show you why and how the Lord instructed you to read the Bible so you can get it. And that is over Isaiah 28, and I started verse 7. Isaiah 28, verse 7. I think I've started 9. 9. He says, and this is the Lord talking, he asked the question, whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? And he says, them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. So, brothers and sisters, if you're reading or seeing somebody reading to you out of the Bible in church, you can't just let them go out of their mind. It must come from out of this book. The Lord, wrote a whole big old book. It's necessary and mandatory that you read it. And because you have to be the one that is the captain of your own salvation. So he asks, who will I teach this knowledge to? That's telling you right away, everybody can't get it. And verse 10 says, for precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line. Here a little and there a little. For with a stammering lip and another tongue will I speak to this people. So, brothers and sisters, that's telling you that you got to go from the Old Testament to the New Testament, from the Old Testament to the New Testament, here a little, there a little. And you got to find out all the subjects that match. That's what a precept is. A precept is a subject of some sort. Like, say you want to talk about marriage. It's sections all in this book that talk about marriage. And when you search them out, they line up and they're supposed to make sense. And if I did not read to where I was reading from, you should get it like a straight story. So that's how you got to read it. If you see me doing that, that's what I'm doing. So without further ado, I'm gonna get into this lesson called Israel. Wherever you go, dark clouds shall come upon you. And I'll talk a little bit more about it before I get in. I'm not gonna talk too much. I'm just gonna start reading the book because the book will tell you everything that you need to know. I only just read it, and because I got a big mouth and I like to talk, I might say some stuff about the stuff I said to hype it up a little bit, but that ain't got nothing to do with the story if you listen to it. Grace and peace, brother. Grace and peace. And be sure tomorrow to catch Eddie Israel. His show's coming on tomorrow, him and Brother Ben. I think it's Wear Out Thy Physicians or something to that nature, but it's going to be a real banger. That I was end up watching another one of his teachings today, and both of those two brothers very, very dangerous with the book. The spirit really gets with them. I'll be reading probably for Ben tomorrow, but their show probably is going to be something. So tune in tomorrow. I don't know what time it is, but we'll put that in the chat for you later. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to start off reading the commandments. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. Now we go over to Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes 12, verses 13 and 14. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Revelations 22, verses 14 and 15. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have the right to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates into the city. For without are dogs and sorcerers and whoremongers and murderers and idolaters and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. But brothers and sisters, I just read to you the commandments of God in the old, in the past, the present, and in the future. There's no way that there is a stoppage. This guy said he don't change, and the book says the same thing. So if anybody is standing before you telling you that the law is no good, they are trying to assassinate you. How could it be no good when sin and law are the identical same thing? So if you break the law, that means you sin. So somebody tell you that the law is no good, that means sin is good. That means you can do it anytime you get ready. And I don't know why they would get mad, because they're the first people to call law enforcement when something like that happens to them. So, brothers and sisters, keep that in mind. I read it from all different areas, from the past, the present, and the future. So, and the book just bear it out. Like, it's unbelievable, because they unlearned. They tell you that the law is done away with, but the law is very good and the law is very necessary. So without further ado, I will get into this lesson, and I'm gonna start off with why you're under these curses, and who is doing what, and who's responsible for everything that you're gonna see. And remember how I told you I was going to read this, because I want you to see that Jesus is pleading with us out of the Old Testament. All through this book, he's pleading with you in his fierce anger, because we're going to paint him in a whole different picture today. I try to do that often because I don't see this powder puff guy that they made him out to be so much, where you have all these choices to do everything that you want. I don't see that in the pages of the Bible. So most of all my lessons are just reading the truth, and it's shocking. I mean, I can go on and on and on about that. So that's why I'm so happy that those other brothers come and light me up a little bit, because when I start going and I'm reading this, I'm like, wait a minute, where are they getting this? And I can't blame you, brothers and sisters, just yourself, because I myself was everything in the church on Sundays. President of the youth group, Lutheran Church Missouri Synod. I used to go all across the world reading the Nicene Creed, which this Nicene Creed is what they had a vote in court on for the Trinity doctrine. There was a voting on court. You didn't know that, did you? But that's a whole nother story for later. I'm going to get into this lesson. See, I was getting ready to start going already. So let me get into this lesson. We're going to start off in Daniel 9, verse 4, because the Lord, at this point, he made sure that you knew those curses came from him. So I want I'm gonna confirm the curses before I get in some of the dark stuff that he actually said. Happy Sabbath, my brother. I ain't talked to my boy all day today. Being Israel in the building. Sit back and check this one out, bro, because it's gonna be a busser, like Keith like to say, door popper. All right. So without further ado, I'm gonna get on into this lesson and then I'm gonna boot on. I don't want to be here all night. I don't want to have you here all night neither. So let's, like MC Hammer used to say, let's get it started. Have my place, then I go and lose it. And you right after Ezekiel. So the Lord right here, he made these, he confirmed what he did to you. And I'm going to read that to you so you will know from the very beginning who put this dark cloud on you, so you won't be confused about it, blaming everybody for our conditions while not listening right now. So this is going to be a very interesting story because the whole world also hinges on these two brothers, you and your twin brother, who you don't even know is your twin brother. And he is a thorn in your side. He's working overtime to try to bring you to zero. And the Lord is allowing it because this written in the page of the Bible. You could be able to withstand it if you read it, because he said, I'll be a little sanctuary to you. But since you won't read and get into this book, then the dark cloud is going to be all over. And I'll get into it when I get into those curses, but I'm going to lay the foundation first. Daniel 9, verses 9 through 14. To the Lord our God belong mercies and forgiveness, though we have rebelled against him. We rebelled against our Lord. Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord our God to walk in his laws, which he set before us by the servants, the prophets. We killed all of them. And that's why, I mean, today is a hot summer day. And I promise you, I got so many calls with people that I used to work with 10 years ago talking about somebody having a birthday party. It's like Satan and his people are out in full force when the weather get like this. They like, man, you doing a podcast on what? You talking about going to church? Man, you need to come to this party. Such and such gonna be that. I say, oh my goodness. But thank the Lord that I ain't on stony ground. I got a foundation. It doesn't even bother me. It went right over my head like a New Year's blimp. Verse 11. Yeah, all Israel has transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they may not obey thy voice. Therefore, the curse is poured upon us. He's telling you right here, brothers and sisters, these curses shall come upon you. He called it on you from back then, and it ain't changed. And your condition will not change until the Lord comes back. I'm going to read that again. Yeah, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore, the curse is poured upon us. And the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him. And he have confirmed his words, which he spake against us and against our judges that judge us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven have not been done as it done upon Jerusalem. As it is written in the law of Moses, all this evil has come upon us, yet we not our prayer before the Lord our God, that we might turn from our iniquities and understand thy truth. Therefore, the Lord have watched upon the evil and brought it upon us. For the Lord our God is righteous in all his work which he doeth, for we obeyed not his voice. And I read that to open this up for you first, because like I always say, you don't believe that you're Israel. A lot of the people who I deal with, they don't know that they're Israel, right? But some of the conditions I'm going to show here, I want you to really pay particular attention to. Even if you don't know you Israel, these things only happen to one group of people on the face of this earth. And that's what this is saying. He said that bringing upon a great evil. What is the greatest evil that happened to every one group of people on the earth? that we can say that. And that was chattel slavery. Chattel slavery. Okay. So you are the only people that have been taken away. And he's telling you these curses are upon you. And just because you scattered in the land that's not yours, them curses gonna come upon you and they're gonna follow you everywhere you go. That's what this is telling you. Okay. So let's go dig a little further. We're gonna go over to Ezekiel. I think you back up just one chapter, Ezekiel 16. We're gonna make proof. We're gonna let you know who doing it and why he doing it. Right now, what happened to you that didn't happen to nobody else came from the hand of the Lord. And he said, I watched the evil come upon this people. The evil came upon you. So let's make further proof on it, because now we're going to show you that you are a special people to him, because right now we're going to identify you with some of your behavior. When you start getting money and you start looking nice and you start getting power, you turn your back right onto your own self and turn against everybody. That's the same trait on how you should be able to identify yourself too, Israel, because this is a character trait and you ain't changed. The Lord considers us his bride. So he's going to refer to us all during this lesson as a virtuous woman. He's gonna refer to you a virtuous woman. So pay attention to that, brother. I'm gonna raise it up for him this time. He's gonna call him as a virtuous woman. So let's go and see Ezekiel 16. Ezekiel 16. You are a virtuous woman, and he treated you like you would treat your wife. That's what he called us, because that's what a covenant is, and you're married to him, and you don't even know it. All right. 16:1. Again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, cause Jerusalem to understand and know her abominations. So when I said that evil he brought on here, I'm telling you why he put that evil on you and put you in slavery. He's telling you he will cause you to know your sins and know your abominations, Israel. And say, thus said the Lord God unto Jerusalem, thy birth and thy nativity is of the land of Canaan. And thy father, he was an Amorite, and thy mother a Hittite. And as for thy nativity in the day that thou was born, thy neighbor was not cut, neither thou washed in water to supple thee. Thou was not salted at all, nor swallowed at all. None I pitied thee to do any of these unto thee, to have compassion unto thee, but thou was cast out in the open field to the loathing of thy person in the day that thou was born. So you were down in Israel and you wasn't a nation at all. And they treated you, in Egypt, they treated you horrendously. And the Lord watched it. They treated you so bad, the way they treated this one group of people before you was even a nation. The Lord God from heaven was looking down saying, wow. He said, none I pity thee. Okay, 6. And when I passed by thee and saw thee polluted in thine own blood, I said unto thee, when thou was in thy blood, live. Yeah, I said unto thee, when thou was in thy blood, live. So listen what the Lord said he did. This is what he did for you starting off before you even was a nation. They was doing you very dirty. They tried to exterminate the whole nation of Israel. It wouldn't be no black people all across the world that like we scattered in right now if the Lord hadn't did this part right here, brothers and sisters. And you need to remember that. This is Jesus, and he's angry for it. And I'm going to prove to you right here that this is Jesus. I have caused thee to multiply as the bud of the field, and thou hast increased and waxen great, and thou art come to excellent ornaments. Thy breasts are fashioned, and thine hair is grown, whereas thou was naked and bare. Now, when I passed by thee and looked upon thee, behold, thy time was a time of love, and I spread my skirt over thee and covered thy nakedness. Yeah, I swear unto thee and entered into a covenant with thee, said the Lord thy God, and thou becamest mine. So he's telling you right there that you entered in the covenant with him and he treating you like he his wife. He covered you up. That means he protected you. You was naked with everybody and no eye pitied you. He said, no more. I'm going to have this people unto myself. And when you're in the covenant, brothers and sisters, you break it with the Lord, you ain't got nothing coming but trouble after that. So listen to verse 9. Then washed I thee with water. Yeah, I thoroughly washed away thy blood from thee, and I anointed thee with oil. I clothed thee also with broidered work, and shod thee with badger skin, and I girded thee about with fine linen, and I covered thee with silk, gave you the best of everything. I decked thee also with ornaments, and put bracelets upon thy hands, and a chain on thy neck. Why do y'all think y'all like herringbones and diamond cut ropes and all this extensive jewelry and platinum and gold and silver and all that stuff? Because you are used to it. You are the ones that was taking those chains out. But what you did with them when you thought that you didn't have what you want for 1 second, he turned his back. Boy, y'all took them earrings off and made that calf so quick and started lying on the Lord immediately. And this is our condition, but I'll get to that. Thus was thou decked with gold and silver, and thy raiment was fine linen and silk, and embroidered. Thou didst eat fine flour and honey and oil, and thou was exceeding beautiful, and thou did prosper into a kingdom. You became into a kingdom, right? And that's verse 13. I'm going to come right back to here and read 14 and 15, but I want to go someplace right now and point something out to you that the Lord said. And in that chapter, I want to prove to you that it's you that he's talking about. We're going to come right back to here. We at Ezekiel 16, we're on verse 13 now. We're going to go over the Songs of Solomon real quick, and then we're going to come back to that Ezekiel to finish off, because he did something right here. And it identifies you as his people and you as who you are. Okay. Songs of Solomon. I got it right there. Verse 4. Draw me, we will run after thee. The king has brought me into his chambers. We will be glad and rejoice in thee. Remember thy love more than wine. The upright love thee. I am black, but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. I'm going to read that again because I don't want that to go over your head. It's not a misprint. This is the book talking. I didn't write it. Verse 5 says, I am black, but comely. You know what comely means, brothers and sisters? It means beautiful. It means beautiful. I am black, but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. So they try to say, oh, that's Solomon talking. So why would they be saying as the curtains of Solomon? He should have said as the curtains of me. This is somebody else talking. We're going to prove it to you. Look not upon me because I am black, because the sun have looked upon me, and my mother's children were angry with me. They made me the keepers of the vineyards, but my own vineyard I have not kept. So he said in verse 5, he said, I am black but comely. In other words, I'm black and I'm proud. I'm black and I'm beautiful. I'm black and I'm beautiful. So I told you to hold your marker right there. We're going to go back to Ezekiel 16, verse 14. We're going to pick that story right back up where it was. Now, you heard him say he was black and beautiful, but he said comely. That's what that word means. So let's identify you right now, because that was him talking right here to you. 16 verse 14. And thy renown went forth among the heathen for thy beauty, for it was perfect through my comeliness, which I had put on upon thee, said the Lord God. Did you just hear that? So I know a lot of y'all just probably look in the mirror and can't stand yourself for some of our conditions, but the Lord said he's black and comely. Don't look down upon him. Then he said, your renown went forth throughout all the world for your beauty, because it was perfect through his comeliness, which I had put upon thee, said the Lord. He made you just like him. He made you just like him. Verse 15. But thou didst trust in thine own beauty, and thou played the harlot because of thy renown, and pourest out thy fornication on everyone that passed by. His it was. Boy, brothers and sisters, that's the story of our life. We have everything, and we always give it up real quick. Real quick. Now, he said he was black. He put that comeliness on you. And when I read verse 4 of Songs of Solomon, he said, draw me, we will run after thee, right? So I want to make further proof of who that was talking on that Songs of Solomon, who said he was black, like you, like he made you. Go over to St. John 6 and 43 and 45. Remember I said we got to go here a little, there a little to get what this book is talking about. St. John 6 verses 43 through 45. It'll make a lot of sense in 1 minute. St. John 6. Jesus therefore answered and said unto them, murmur not among yourselves. This is in red writing. No man can come to me except the Father which have sent me draw him, and I will raise him up the last day. It is written in the prophets, and they shall be all taught of God. Every man therefore that have heard and have learned of the Father cometh unto me. So in verse 4, when that guy said I'm black, when he said draw me, he just telling you who that was right there. Jesus said, no man can come to me unless the Father that sent me draw me. Brothers and sisters, this is the captain of your salvation, and we don't reverence him at all. And he gets very, very upset about it, so much that instead of you taking that comeliness and beautiness that he gave you, you rebelled against him. So you could have got out of those curses, but you rebelled against them. So let me show you what I mean when I say that. First, I'm going to take you to where he gave you, made you special. He called you out of darkness and made you a kingdom of priests. Because you don't know this part right here. Read this. Deuteronomy 7, 6 through 9. Verse 7. Verse 6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he has sworn unto your fathers, have the Lord bought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Now know therefore that the Lord thy God, he is God, the faithful God, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him, and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. Brothers and sisters, that is a lifetime. But you notice what he said. He said that when he got you and spread his love upon you, remember that love story that he said, and instead of him doing that, he made you he said you are a holy people unto himself. Have we lived holy? Go in any inner city, I don't care what part of the world we at, and you gonna see that holy people he sent away in slavery that he did to you. Everybody is taking a piece out of you, and they had a lot of help by certain people, and I'm gonna expose that hand of some of them today, right now. All right, so instead of doing this, with all that stuff he showed you, how he treated you like you the wife that you are, you rebelled against him. Let's see that rebellion. Let's see how bad it really was. Let's go to Isaiah 1. Isaiah 1. Okay. Pick it up at verse 1. The vision of Isaiah, the son of Amos, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Lord has spoken. Listen what the Lord said, what he did. Now, I want you to understand why those curses that he said that he did come upon you. Listen what you did. This is our behavior. And I want you to compare this. If you don't know it's you, ask yourself, who could this possibly be? I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. The ox knows his owner, and the ass know his master's crib. But Israel doth not know. My people do not consider. You try to tell somebody, I told one of my guy worked with me for 25 years. I told him about us being Israel. I told him years ago, he said, you know what I think about that, don't you? And I just shook my head. He got a little money. He got a little properties. I hope he see this too, because I gave him the link today. I hope you're watching so you can see exactly who you are, my brother. Look at what he said about this. And this is what he said he's going to do. A sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backward. What generation of people who you look at today, they are going away backward. Backward means pants hanging down, walking down in the street. Backward means telling your mother and your parents they mean nothing to you no more. Everybody used to love big mama and grandmama. No respect no more. Why should ye be stricken anymore? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart is faint. From the sole of the foot even into the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. He said the whole head of sick. That means the whole nation that was a kingdom of priests, these people, wherever they are, they sick. It ain't no sound judgment in them at all. It ain't no sound judgment at all. And wow. Listen what he said about your country. Your country is desolate. Your cities are burned with fire. Now, he said that about the places where you at. All these countries, they just messed up in your areas. But he said this next line, your land, strangers devoured in your presence, and it is the desolate as overthrown by strangers. And don't we see that right now today? Your land, you think it's Africa or, you know, someplace around there. Like Africa is a continent with 54 countries on it. Which one do you come from, Israel? You have no idea. He said that when your nativity you came out, you were in the land of Israel. And he said you forgot. He put you in the first verse. He said that he compared you to a jackass or a donkey because he know you can't remember nothing. You ain't gonna remember nothing where you at. So he said that strangers are in your land, devoured it in your place. So you don't know you those people. And strangers are in your land right now, taking it over, doing what they're doing. So you a stranger in another land because the whole Bible is written about you. So if somebody else is in your land, they became a stranger in that land and you became a stranger elsewhere. So let's see how that happened. Let's go over to Obadiah. And then we'll let him tell you a little further about how that big switch was and how you became a stranger in your own land, brothers and sisters. It's only one chapter, so we're going to go down to Obadiah 1. We're going to read 10 to 15. Remember it said, strangers are devouring your land, and you are become a stranger in another land because as a result of that. So let's read that. Let's see who the hand was that's helping bring this cloud, dark cloud upon you. Verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was as one of them. So they was one of them when they came and took us out of the land. And this is our twin brother. You'll find out in another lesson, but I'm just going to identify him now, let you see who the hand is and why they got a perpetual hatred for you right now today. I'm going to let them destroy you, show you how they're doing it, and then I'm going to let the Lord finish you off. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day thy brother in the day that he became a stranger. Remember, I just said you had to become a stranger. They went into your gates and took your place. Now they're a stranger in your land because the people are not what it's supposed to be. Neither should thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither should thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yeah, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither should thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those that did escape. Neither should y'all have delivered up those that did remain in the day of distress. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, and thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. See, when the Lord come back, Jesus, the one y'all talking about, that's this powder puff guy, he bring rewards. And he got his reward with him when he comes. He gonna say it all doing this thing. When the Lord come back, that black man that I said in Songs of Solomon 4-6, that's coming back, he has a reward with him. So this is one question, is off the record. How is somebody saved if he got the reward to give you when he come back? That's just got to be something to think. And so these people, which is your brother. So you found out just now that your brother, your twin brother, has taken your spot and he helped the people out. And you're going to find out in this lesson that his hands is on a lot of stuff against you. And you don't even know it. And you need to ask yourself, why? Why? Because he got a perpetual hatred for you, brothers and sisters. Let's go and see a little further right now. Let's look at some of that perpetual hatred. We're going to go to Ezekiel 35, verse 15. Ezekiel 35. Let's see some of this perpetual hatred that he got for you, my brothers and sisters. Your twin brother, keep that in mind. 35, 5-15. Listen, verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. See, our iniquity, all of our sins had an end, right? But y'all twin brother had a perpetual hatred for you, and it's like that down to this day. You are blamed for everything that they go through because you are the people that's supposed to be there, and they hate it. Look at all the stuff that's happening with Kanye West and Kyrie Irving then for mentioning something against that group of people, right? Because this is the same perpetual hatred they got toward you. And so only way you can combat this and get these dark clouds from over you, brothers and sisters, is turn to the Lord. I'm going to read that again. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed blood of the children of Israel by force of the sword in the time of their calamity. Remember, we was walking out, they said you was like one of them. And everybody that escaped, they called us and went and brought us back to them so they can slaughter us more. And people wear those crosses on their neck. During that time, they were slaughtering up to 500 people a day on those crosses. Jesus was not the only one that got a cross on there. So when you wear those crosses on your chain and put love mom on a tattoo on your arm, you actually wearing a Roman death symbol. It was a way to kill people during that time. And it was hanging on a tree. The same thing that in modern times that you saw being lynched on trees. That was the same thing. And why do you think the Ku Klux Klan burn crosses and you wear them proudly? Think you're doing something great when you do it. Then you put the check right on your heart so you can wear them and see them. But you need to know what you're doing, brothers and sisters. 6. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Now, this is talking to them. When you look over there at the Middle East, that small country, Israel, where they occupying the land, that you see nothing but war and fighting every day. Because he said right here, they love blood. For what they did to you, he said blood gonna pursue them. They're in an all-out slaughter fest right now against some Palestinians, brothers and sisters. In an all-out slaughter fest. So pay attention to this. Thanks, my brother, to see this and watch what they do. Listen. Thus I will make Mount Seir the most desolate, and cut off from him that passes out, and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men, and thy hills and thy valleys, and in all thy rivers they shall fall that are slain with the sword. I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy cities shall not return. And ye shall know that I am the Lord, because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Lord was there. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will even do according to thine anger and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them, and I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. That is a scary thing that I didn't even recognize that. So when they get their punishment coming for what they did, like, we can't get mad at them for the stuff you're about to get ready to see on these videos. You caused it to yourself, but they got a heavy price to pay, brothers and sisters. So when you see the stuff that they're doing to us, think about how much worse it's going to be for them when you see these videos. I'm going to play them all. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord, and that I have heard all they blasphemies which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying, they are laid desolate. They are given to us to consume. So you got a people that got a perpetual hatred against you. And the Lord said that they have in their mind, they got a right to consume you wherever you at. They got a hand in doing that, making that cloud dark over you, brothers and sisters. And the Lord said, thus with your mouth ye have boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me, and I have heard them. Thus saith the Lord God, when the whole earth rejoiceth, I will make thee desolate. And thou did rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it. And they shall know that I am the Lord. So you don't know this about the Lord. You know, the Lord, you might think you get away with something because it's a verse that Keith like to always say, Ecclesiastes, where because sentence is not swift, therefore men's heart are set on evil. So you think you didn't get away with it, just like they said, and they boasted against God, said, yeah, the Lord gave them people to us to consume us. We consumed them. So let me show you real quick in these videos before I get back to the story. Then I'm gonna switch it over and let the Lord show you what he got a little bit more for you too. Just sit still, because it's gonna be a head buster. So pay attention to this, brothers and sisters. This is some of the things that Israel say about you. You are a special people unto the Lord, but they don't like that. So pay attention. Here we go right here.
Peace, family. My name is Vicki Dillard. Thank you so much for tuning into African Diaspora News Channel. Make sure you give us a big thumbs up, and share the broadcast. Thank you so very much. Now, family, I want you to take a look at this very brief clip of an Israeli consul official making what appears to be some very disturbing, dangerous, and damaging statements about Black American youth in particular. I found this clip very important to discuss at this time because there's so much happening in our world, and we are supposed to have a very strong and democratic alliance with Israel. So it's disturbing to hear these comments. Watch this.
The problem of Israel is with the young generation of the Black community. Black Lives Matter starts there.
So just to give a little bit of context to what you're hearing, you're listening to Judith Varney Shore, an Israeli consul general in Atlanta. And she says, quote, "The major problem with Israel is the young generation of the Black community." I'm going to say that again. How are our friends and allies in Israel saying their consul, this is a government official, why would she say, quote, "The major problem with Israel is with the young generation of the Black community"? What in the world is really going on? This is footage leaked from a censored documentary on some interesting ties between them and the United States. And so just for some of you may or may not know that Al Jazeera had done a documentary, and I was told that it was delayed and there were some other things that were going on there. So this is really interesting, and I find it fascinating, of course, that mainstream mass media isn't really talking about this. And I'm just saying that if Israel is supposed to be our democratic ally in that particular region of the world, we have some questions here.
The problem of Israel is with the young generation of the Black community. Black Lives Matter starts there.
And the reason this is important is because if your governmental officials have these types of thought, what's going into the laws and the policies that are known and unknown? Your world engagement, geopolitics, how does that look when this is privately something that they believe is a problem for their nation some very many miles away? Now, I've discussed this before, that some of our police in America are trained by Israeli law enforcement. Did you know that some American law enforcement agents, I'm talking about state and local, travel to Israel for training? And did you know that certain officials from there come to the United States to train our police? And there have been reports that have traced some of the maneuvers, some of the anti-Black, very dangerous and detrimental maneuvers that cause our folks to be taken out or severely injured, that some of those tactics were taught, from their law enforcement agencies. So I'm thinking we're going to have to rethink some things, I believe, about this, and have a come to Jesus meeting on some of this stuff. Talk Black to me. If you say you're an ally and we give, billions of dollars in support every single year, there's got to be something else that we discuss here. Somebody talk Black to me. My name is Vicki Dillard. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Vicki Show here on African Diaspora News Channel. Please make sure you check out my website at VickiPlanet.com and my platform at VickiDillard.tv. I can't wait to see you there.
U.S. police are training in Israel, and that's something every American should be concerned about. As protests sweep across the U.S., it's becoming increasingly clear that law enforcement has become more militarized, treating the people they're supposed to serve and protect as a hostile foreign population. Part of the reason why is that since the 90s, and especially after 9/11, U.S. law enforcement, including police departments, the FBI, CIA, and immigration officials, have been trained by Israeli agents.
These exchange programs are exacerbating the violence in both places and lifting up the Israeli occupation as a global gold standard for policing.
And communities of color in the U.S. are disproportionately paying the price.
Police, since its origins, have been a racist and brutalizing body. But through time, their efforts of brutalization have taken on a new character. That new character is police exchanges.
Hey everyone, I'm Dina, and as a Palestinian-American journalist who's reported from the occupied West Bank... Put the camera down. Okay. I've witnessed firsthand how Israel routinely targets unarmed Palestinians with force as part of its decades-long illegal military occupation of Palestinian land. I've also seen the militarized U.S. response to peaceful protesters in places like Standing Rock. And in this historic moment of uprisings in the U.S., the parallels between how American and Israeli forces crack down on civilians are more glaring than ever. So why is U.S. law enforcement receiving training from Israel, a flagrant human rights offender? And what does it mean for people on the ground? Now, it's important to keep in mind that the U.S. police and military have historically brutalized communities of color and repressed movements for justice well before the existence of Israel. But now they're building on that by learning from a state that has mastered racial profiling, crowd control, and surveillance. To understand why these trainings are so problematic, you first need some background about how Israel systematically dehumanizes the Palestinian population it completely controls. Israel's creation in 1948 enshrined a nationalist policy of Jewish Israeli supremacy at the expense of the native Palestinian population, most of whom were forced to flee their homes, becoming permanent refugees. In 1967, Israel began its repressive military occupation of what remained of Palestinian land, subjugating the entire Palestinian population, denying them the rights of citizenship, and crushing any dissent against its policies. Since then, Israeli forces have routinely fired tear gas, skunk water, rubber-coated steel bullets, and even live ammunition at unarmed protesters. So this is a state that violently controls and suppresses the rights of an occupied people. And U.S. police are learning its tactics to use against American citizens. Thousands of law enforcement officials from all corners of the country have traveled to Israel to learn police strategies and exchange tactics. These trips became increasingly common after 9/11 as pro-Israel groups used the so-called War on Terror as an opportunity to push for a closer, unconditional alliance with Israel, which had marketed itself as the world's leading counterterrorism expert.
On these trips, high-ranking U.S. officials are visiting Israeli checkpoints and prisons, places where human rights groups all over the world have documented Israeli discrimination and repression and torture and killing of Palestinians.
I spoke to Stephanie Fox from the Jewish Voice for Peace. Her organization was part of a campaign called Deadly Exchange, which outlines the dangerous consequences of U.S. police trainings in Israel.
Why do you think Israel is so attractive to U.S. law enforcement agencies?
U.S. policing has always been both about enacting a war on Black and brown communities in the U.S. and around the world. So I think that the two being both rooted in racism and state violence, there's a real natural attraction and a desire to trade tactics.
So who runs these exchanges? They're organized by pro-Israel groups like the Anti-Defamation League, which calls itself the world's leading anti-hate organization. The trips are funded privately as well as through grants from the Israeli and U.S. governments, including the Justice Department. The ADL boasts that they've trained more than 15,000 law enforcement professionals and have sent more than 200 high-ranking U.S. officials to Israel. And some officers fresh off these trips have high praise.
This was an outstanding experience, something that I'll remember for the rest of my life.
You've obviously given us a lot to think about, a lot of best practices.
And this is, in fact, the finest training initiative that I've ever been a participant in.
But we've seen the ramifications of these trainings here in the U.S., with police departments treating American citizens who are exercising their constitutional right to protest as though they're under occupation, especially communities of color. Take Ferguson, Missouri, for example. After the 2014 police killing of Michael Brown, the officers' response to protesters mirrored some of the tactics used by Israeli forces against Palestinians, which civil rights icon Angela Davis has drawn attention to.
The tear gas that was being used in occupied Palestine was the same tear gas that was being used in Ferguson.
And she's right. Officers in Ferguson used the same U.S.-manufactured tear gas and flashbang devices to disperse crowds that Israeli forces regularly use against Palestinians. But that's not all. In 2011, the sheriff of St. Louis County, where Ferguson is located, traveled to Israel on one of the ADL-sponsored police exchange trips. And then, 3 years after the Ferguson uprisings, which catapulted the Black Lives Matter movement to the international stage, the city's police chief also traveled to Israel for training. He said he was blessed to be part of the exchange. And throughout all of this, Palestinians have recognized the shared struggle, even tweeting support and tips to American protesters. But Ferguson is just one example. Other cities and counties where officers have received Israeli training later became the sites of high-profile police killings. That includes Hennepin County, home to Minneapolis, where George Floyd was killed by police, and Atlanta, where Rayshard Brooks was fatally shot by an officer. And who could forget the militarized response to protesters in Washington, D.C. after the death of George Floyd? Officers from several agencies, including the U.S. Park Police, fired on protesters with tear gas and flashbangs. And it turns out that many officers from D.C. traveled to Israel for training, including the U.S. Park Police chief and a police commander. And then there's surveillance. Israel's massive surveillance system has inspired U.S. officials, so much so that after a former police chief visited Israel in 2008, his city adopted its techniques.
Our Video Integration Center in downtown Atlanta is modeled after the Command and Control Center I saw in the old city of Jerusalem.
Atlanta has installed over 10,000 surveillance cameras, which have raised serious privacy concerns. But to really get a sense of Israeli inspiration, look no further than New York City. After 9/11, the NYPD and the CIA created a sprawling covert spying operation that surveilled and infiltrated mosques and Muslim neighborhoods in the New York City area. This led to widespread and unprecedented profiling of the region's Muslim communities. A police official told the Associated Press that the program was modeled in part off of how Israelis spy on Palestinians in the West Bank. That program was heavily scrutinized in the U.S., but widespread surveillance of citizens continues today. During recent protests, Do Black Lives Matter in Israel? If you ask some of the Ethiopian Jews who are citizens of the state, it doesn't feel that way. They've taken to the streets over the past several weeks to protest police brutality and racism in Israeli society. And this shouldn't be confused with the recent protests of African migrants who aren't Jewish and are seeking asylum. But back to the Ethiopians. These waves of protests were ignited in April after a video went viral of police violently beating an Israeli soldier of Ethiopian descent. And as Israel-based journalist and filmmaker David Sheen told me, that struck a chord with many.
Pretty much every single Ethiopian Jewish man in this country can speak to that experience. Either he's experienced it personally, or his brother, or his uncle, or his friends have been the victims of police brutality.
So what should you know about the Ethiopian Jewish community in Israel? Today, at least 135,000 Ethiopian Jews live in the country, which is approximately 2% of the population. Many of them arrived after Israel airlifted them out during the years of the famine in the 1980s and 90s. Before that, thousands of Ethiopians tried to reach Israel by land, many dying on the journey. But today, despite the fact that these Black Jews of Israel are citizens of the state, which entitles them to equal protection under Israeli law, and despite the fact that they serve in the Israeli army and speak fluent Hebrew, they have long been the victims of systemic discrimination. Just how bad is it?
Obviously, being the darkest hued Jews in the country, they face color-based discrimination that's not unlike in the United States and other parts of the world. The Ethiopian community has not been allowed to access to housing all over the country. They were sent to certain communities and other communities refused them. They were sent to certain schools and other schools refused them.
They've also suffered endemic poverty. At least 65% of Ethiopian children live below the poverty line. Just 5% of the community have college degrees, compared with 28% of the broader Jewish population. And on top of that, 1/5 of the inmates in juvenile facilities are Ethiopian Israelis. As organizer Moria Zalka told me, the younger generation of Ethiopian Israelis are fighting to change all of that.
We were born here, we were raised here, we got the education here. So we know our rights, we know what we want. Until we won't see a result, but true result and a long-term results, we won't stop.
So given the community's demands for social justice today, what is the government doing? Well, Prime Minister Netanyahu met with the Ethiopian Israeli soldier who was beaten by police and told him, Netanyahu repeated that sentiment at an annual memorial for the 4,000 Ethiopian Jews who died on their way to Israel years ago, saying there is no place for racism and discrimination in our society. He's also set up a ministerial committee to eradicate racism. But is that enough? Many Black Jews believe that change will only come with a change of consciousness among Israelis as a whole. And given how small the Ethiopian community is and the fact that it doesn't have a lot of political power, how optimistic should folks be that the government will once and for all address these long-standing concerns?
Brothers and sisters, that was a perpetual hatred from your brother. Like that lady said, she was in Atlanta and she's a government official. So she said that the problems that they're having in Israel is the Black youth over in the United States. You don't even know that this dark cloud is on you. And this is like a baby. This is a smidget of all the information that's out here. About when they airlifted those Jews there. Now, I know you're not used to seeing them say that, all these Black Jews in Ethiopia. So I want to ask a question to you watching, or you might watch. Seeing that it's all these Black Jews that's hidden there and they airlifted, they've been there for years, spent their whole life there. What was wrong with Kanye West and them saying that we are Semitic? You just saw them with the actual people who they had perpetual hatred for in their land. And as you heard those people saying, it was a perpetual hatred going all across the world. And the Lord was so concerned, he told you who these people are. But you still won't believe it. I'm going to read it to you. We're going to go back to Revelations 2:9 and read one verse. And so see what the Lord said about it. He was so worried about it, he put it in the book about these people. Listen at this. Revelations 2:9. I know thy works in tribulation and poverty. He's talking to you because you the poorest people on the face of this earth right now, right? But the Lord says something here. He said, but thou art rich. So you think you poor, but because he gave you this word, this book right here is your salvation, you really are rich if you knew what you had. So listen to what he said. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Brothers and sisters, this is the Bible, all the red letters. I can't make this up. I'll let you see it. Where that thing at? He said that they are the synagogue of Satan. So even if you don't care who it is, and you don't know who you is, the Bible telling you that at the end of this work, or this is Revelation, it's going to be revealed that there is a people who are saying they are Jews and are not, but they're the synagogue of Satan. Does that look like some of Satan's type of work where you calling the police and shooting and training them because they're your twin brother? They know how to deal with you better than anybody. So they telling the police, this is what they got to do to you. So just for future lessons, when you getting shocked, and I'm going to get into some of that when I show how God is coming upon you with them curses, I want you to remember this. When you get stopped by that police, when you got no assurance of your life, your brother then taught them how to deal with you. That's why the first thing they do when they ask you, when they pull you over, they say, do you know why I stopped you? And if you silly, if you ain't got no sense, you're going to start mouthing up, I got these rights, this and other. The gun comes out. Bah! So pay attention to this, brother and sister, because these people are the synagogue of Satan. He said that. Let's go over to Revelation 3:9 so we can get right into it. Just turn right over and see what he said about them. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. So the Lord is pleading with you. He always showing love for you, but yet still, because you won't wake up out of the sleep and to get into the actual truth and know who you're dealing with, know yourself, get under a teacher who's going to teach you these scriptures enough till you can go on your own and save yourself. Because if you don't, you seeing the thing on it, you got the police against you, and the guy is getting ready to come upon you. And I'm going to show you a little of his fury starting right now. Let's go over to Isaiah 30. And let's make full proof on who doing what. And also for y'all people, I want y'all to know that this is Jesus doing this. Like I told you, he was black. I'm going to make proof that you're going to know without a doubt that he's in all the book of the Old Testament. He's the only God that you ever dealt with, brothers and sisters. He ain't dealt with nobody else but Jesus. He told you I'm the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. There are no gods besides him. He wasn't talking about the Father. He was talking about all them pagan gods that you like to make gold out of with jewelry and all this stuff. Isaiah 30. Isaiah. I'm really tripping. Isaiah 30, verse 8. Getting my book now. I'm getting like Chuck. I can grab my book instead of going to the tablet right now. Now listen to this. This is what the Lord said. Now go, write it before them in a table and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come forever and ever. He's telling you to write these things down in this book, and he wants you to know why this is happening to you. This is what he told Isaiah to write down in a book for the future. So when somebody go read this, I can identify you to it. Remember he said, I nourished and brought up children and they rebelled against me. Listen what he said for him to write down this book. That this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord. We hate the law. We hate the law. Which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. So this is the reason why Sunday churches is full every Sunday, because you want them to tell you good things. You want prosperity. You would rather have and feel good, come out of there crying and dancing and shaking. Oh, Pastor, when he went in today, he bought that fire. But it's all said and good. But right here, when you're dealing with us brothers here, Eddie, Chuck, Ben, Keith, me, we're going to read you what thus said the Lord. We ain't going to tell you nothing about what we say. We're going to study these precepts out. We're going to bring it to you so you will be informed, and maybe you can get yourself out of some of these things. He said, which say to the seer, see not. That means I don't want to hear none of this stuff like y'all talking. That's who he's talking to. He's talking to somebody that's going to read you the truth. We don't want to hear them. And guess what that does? Verse 11. Get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, and cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before you. Your behavior was so bad, the Lord loved you. He loved to stay before you. He said, man, I got to get from up under these people, for I kill them all. The Lord left from the midst of you. Can't no other nation say that. If they did, why don't they have nothing in history of their greatest heroes? If Jesus was white, why did they tell us about some of his pictures and stuff that they had there? Like, that means Moses would have been white too. Where are all their photos at? Where are all these people's photos and all that stuff at? If they is, they proud about Alexander the Great and all those ones. Why don't they got about Moses? Ain't Moses more important than them? Why don't they got about Daniel and Jeremiah? And why don't have real good pictures of them in their behalf? That's just something to think about. Wherefore, thus saith the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word, you hate it, and trust in oppression and perverseness, and stay thereon. Therefore, this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly and in an instant. And he shall break it as a breaking of the potter's vessel that is broken into pieces. He shall not spare, so that there shall not be found in the bursting of it a sherd to take fire from the hearth, or to take water withal out of the pit. For thus saith the Lord God, the Holy One of Israel, in returning and rest shall ye be saved, in quietness and confidence shall be your strength. And ye would not. He told you this, but look what you said. But ye said no. For when we will flee upon horses, therefore shall ye flee, and we will ride upon the swift, therefore shall that pursue you be swift. 1,000 shall flee at the rebuke of one. At the rebuke of 5 shall ye flee, till you be left as a beacon upon the top of a mountain, as an ensign on a hill. The Lord offered you everything. He wanted to give you peace. He wanted to put that skirt back over you. But you said, no good, Lord. No good. In another chapter, you'll tell him we ain't gonna come to you no more. We are all lords ourselves. So he offered you blessings and curses for your behavior. And this is where the meat of the program is going to be at. And I'm going to show you right here in Deuteronomy 28. I'm going to talk about these curses. And I'm going to show you a little bit more proof, not with video this time, but I'm going to show you some pictures of it. Can't be nobody but you that the Lord is doing all this stuff too. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28. Wow. Hope you get some understanding and know that it's you and what to do to come back to the Lord, but at least recognize that the Lord is talking to you. The Lord is talking and dealing directly with you, brothers and sisters. Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. Ain't no use of me reading the positive blessings because you already blew that. You already said we don't want that. So we need to start off with the curses in the interest of time. Let's hear those dark clouds that are upon you. Verse 15, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon you and overtake you. That dark cloud is them curses that I was talking about that's going to come upon you. Like when I read in those commandments, it said, come upon you to the 3rd and 4th generation, to the children that hate me. That means your kid ain't no escaping this. So you are doing a sentence for some of your wicked fathers, and you have behaved wickedlier than them. So let's see what some of these curses are, and let's see if we can identify who this is talking about. Since you don't believe it's you. Verse 16, cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. City and suburbs. Every time you go to the city of Chicago or whatever inner city you got, if you got enough money and work and got you a nice little house in the suburbs and you think you're doing good, curses gonna come upon you there too, because you're Israel. They might not get you right away, but they are coming. Because if you owe the Lord, he intends to, he gonna pay. And that's why I hear a lot of brothers now saying, pay me now, Lord, so that I can get corrected and get eternal life. But if you got to wait to get paid in, that's the lake of fire. So cursed in the field and cursed in the city. Okay, skip down to 19. Cursed shall thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shall thou be when thou goest out. That means when you go outside your house, you curse. And when you coming in, you got to rush and try to get in because it's danger there. Plus your kids there. I didn't think about that, but who you running for, you got to come home too. That's why I say you curse. And not all of you got them there. You're going to see this. Verse 22. The Lord shall smite thee with consumption and with a fever and with inflammation and with extreme burning and with the sword, with blasting and mildew, and they shall pursue you unto thou perish. So those people that are living in the field, in the suburbs, you got them nice jobs, guess what's happening to you? Consumption is cancer. That's what's happening to you. Look at the cancer rates among this community compared to any other nation. Inflammation. Ain't all our joints always hurting and your knees hurting? I'm telling you, I can tell you right now, I can be in the bed, and if it's getting ready to rain outside, it could be dry as all outdoors. I'd be having so many pains. I'd be like, oh my God, it's getting ready to rain. They'd be like, no, it's dry outside. It ain't finna rain. 2 or 3 hours later, it's raining everywhere because the information, you gonna know that he is doing this to you. 23, and the heaven over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under shall be iron. That's a dark cloud. Dark clouds shall come upon you, brothers and sisters. Dark clouds shall come upon you. Let me let you see how that look. Did I put that up there? What that dark cloud at? Yeah. That's how I look over your head, people, brothers and sisters. Dark clouds shall come upon you. Well, I don't care where you at. If you just one spot over in North Korea somewhere, it's going to be a little bitty cloud like that over your head because you going to part of these curses. Let's get back to it with 28. That's 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. You know what madness and blindness and astonishment are? Telling your brothers that this Bible is talking about you. Blindness, you can't see the forest for the trees. Madness is trying to rob a bank and you ain't got nowhere to go. Carjacking somebody and joyriding for an hour. This is madness. Madness is killing your brother that you grew up with all your life in the neighborhood. Y'all went to grammar school, kids school. That's madness. And astonishment is like, whoa, look at these people. Every time you go somewhere, the camera is on you, and it's astonishing to see your condition. Go look at some of them neighborhoods. When I was at work today, I was like, driving through the neighborhood which I grew up in, it does not look real. It does not look real, and they can't see it. They partying and dancing, the girls walking outside with nothing on. I'm like, oh my, it looked like Babylon for real, as described. 29, and thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt only be oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. So didn't Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey, and all these people try to come help you, and you ain't got no betterness in your situation? Couldn't one of them succeed to get you out? John the Baptist tried to get you out. Everybody that tried to get out, he said, no man is going to save you out of this situation. Sharpton them, marching and doing all that stuff. No man is going to get you out of this situation. And that groping, like the Brian Grope, I see these people every day. I don't care what side of town I'm on. Go to your nearest gas station and liquor store, which is on every corner. And by the way, those people, that's your brother that sent those police and trained them how to get you. They train all the other people how to deal with you, to red line your houses and to set your interest rate on your bank rate, to tell all the grocery stores how to give you all that nasty meat and feed it to you. All that stuff is them doing it. And the Lord is bringing this shadow upon you for you being who you are, the stiff-necked people. Why do every time I go to several different gas stations when I'm at work, I don't care where I'm at, Israel is begging for change, spraying all type of stuff on your windows to try to clean your window off. They standing in front of the gas station trying to buy loose cigarettes. They stand there like a job for 8-9 hours, dressed in the same clothes that they had on all year, look totally inhumane. And I give them as much as I could, and it'd be the shaking of a head for me. And I've seen Gentile people come pull up at these gas stations because they about to run out of gas and have to stop in the hood. They said, no, I call AAA. I'm not stopping in there. I'm going to keep on going. I don't care if the car cut off. Okay? This is how bad it looked. And he said this is going to happen. You will not prosper in thy ways. And listen at number 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and thou shalt not gather the grapes thereof. Brothers and sisters, what group of people that the master used to sleep with their wife and take them right before their eyes? And that's why you don't know who you are, because you got his name. Your brother might be real light-skinned like him as well, too. You don't know who you are because of that reason. Plus, you've locked your mind. You don't want to know. But this is telling you something here. Name me one nation that has people that just used to take their wives, your mothers, your aunties, your sisters, my mothers, my auntie, my sisters, and sleep with them when they get ready. And no might in your hand can do nothing. And the Lord did that to you. The Lord did that to you. 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. So, brothers and sisters, listen. I work for the Department of Children and Family Service. This is telling you, I see it every day. I got so many cases. I work for a Jewish agency, right? And so we deal with a lot of mixed families, and all those Israelite kids are under the care of Gentiles, and they do a great job taking care of these kids. But you should see the parents, the biological parents. I try my best, but please do this. What wouldn't you do to get your kid back? They so busy arguing about what somebody has done to them, they won't even do the little bitty thing to get their kids back. Your kids and sons should be given to another people, and these other people gonna raise them because you won't stop drinking. You'll go get some Boone's Farm and let somebody take your kids out as opposed to you not drinking the Boone's Farm. Is it that serious to where you that weak that you won't care for your kids enough? 33, 34. So thou should be mad for the sight thine eyes that should see. Don't y'all protest all the time when y'all see people like George Floyd get killed or some of the other people that we have shown? Don't that drive you crazy? You get mad for your eyes shall see. 36. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. And there thou shalt serve other gods, wood and stone. Do I need to go and show you that wood and stone that y'all serving? Here's one of the other gods that y'all was serving, brothers and sisters. I like to let y'all see that so y'all can remember it. That's the wood and stone that y'all serving. That's not y'all master on that pole. That's them mocking you. Your master had eyes red as fire. He had hair like wool. He had feet like brass. And he said, don't draw no images of him. You heard me saying earlier in Song of Solomon, I am black. Don't look down on me because I'm black. Does that look like him? Well, why you got it on the chain? Why do you got it on the chain? 36, 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all the nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee. The Lord led you these places. Do they call you different names? One year when I was younger, I seen where it said colored before. I seen the colored bathroom signs up before as a kid. I used to live on the west side, and right on Cicero and Roosevelt, that's where it used to change when we couldn't go. And I went in there to go play a pinball machine, me and my uncle, and a bunch of the Gentiles came in there and they tilted the machine. They kept knocking it off and told us to get out of here. And we had to run out of the store just to the other side of the street where we can go. That's the colored side. The dark cloud is going to come upon you wherever you go. A lot of y'all ain't experienced this day and time. I was in college, and the first day I went to college in Evansville, Indiana. The sheriff walked into the Hardee's. I was in the drive-thru line. He walked right in front of the car. He went in and he went on the other side to where in the window, and he was talking with the young lady. I don't know if it was daughter or something. And he said, get out of this line. Y'all don't look like y'all need nothing. Get out of this line, N-words. And I was like, what? I thought it was some type of joke. He said, you think I'm playing? He grabbed his gun. Instead of the young lady saying, don't do that, don't do that, she was like, get out of this line. I drove off the line, and that was my first experience. I said, oh my goodness. I was only used to the west side where I only seen people that look like me. But get out into the world and see how you are really, really hated. Israel, because these curses are upon you. Pay attention to them. 41, thou shalt beget sons and daughters, and thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. There go your jail. How many of you all kids are in jail? There go your jail. They're going to go in captivity. And for you don't even know it, the slavery is still going on. The 13th Amendment did not take you off slavery. Look it up. It said that if you commit a crime, you still are a slave. This ain't to nobody else in the world. And so guess what? If they got a right, they get mad at you and just put something on you, then you in slavery at their will. You ain't free and you don't even know it. My brother was getting ready to go to jail, and he's got Secret Service clearance for a dog that somebody put on him and said that he whooped his dog. He almost lost everything because of that. These curses upon you. I don't care where you at. You can be bought down in an instant. You can have way more money than some of them Gentiles, and they will say, hey, you don't belong here up in this club right here, and you got to go. 43, the stranger that's within thee shall get above thee very high, and that shall come down very low. Who are the strangers? Remember you was a stranger, now you're a stranger in a strange land? Why does people got to come all the way from Saudi Arabia and all these places to come sell you gas? Why does people got to come from Mexico that are not Israelites to service you and cut your grass? Why do the Gentiles got to sell you cars? Why do people got to come all the way from Korea to sell you wigs and have all that stuff and glue and tracks and stuff in your head? Why do they got to do that? Why do the Chinese people got to come over here and sell you Chinese food? Can't y'all cook? Think about this. Why do the Polish people got to come all the way from Poland to help fix up your houses and all this stuff? Brother Jansen was talking to me today, and another nationality came into the job today where they couldn't get the people that worked for him to do the job. Guess what happened? They came in and did the job in 2 days that they've been waiting for the Israelites to do months. Not only is we stiff-necked, but lazy as well too. But who do you got that look like you that serves in you? And how does that conversation look for people over in Arabia fighting to come to the worst neighborhoods in the world to service you? Did you ever thought about what it looks like that people growing up saying, when you grow up, son, we're going to send you to America. We're going to send you to London. We're going to send you to all these people. You got to go and sell gas for these people and get clothes and all this stuff for them because they don't have no other choice. And God will bless us for taking care of them. Did you ever think about that? 44, he shall lend to thee and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head and you shall be the tail. Every time I think about that, you are in the borrowing sum all the time. You are indentured servant to now just totally borrowing. And you going there, they deny your thing. They don't care what happened to you. You were supposed to be the financiers of the world. That's what the Lord gave you when he took you in that wilderness and made a covenant and put that skirt over you. But you wanted this. Now you got to feel the wrath. And I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, this is a chance for you to change some of that. Start keeping that Sabbath day. Let the Lord change you around and you will not have to go through this. And if you got a good job and you say, that don't apply to me. That don't apply to me. Them curses ain't all that stuff. And I ain't got this in here, but I think I'm going to go read that to show you just for you saying that. I know some of the people probably got their head, man, that stuff he reading ain't got nothing to do with me. Yeah, it do. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon you and pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou didst not hearken to the Lord thy God to keep his commandments and statutes as he commanded thee. And listen to what he said right here. They shall be upon thee for a sign and a wonder upon thy seed forever. So he said they're going to come upon you. That's that dark cloud. It's going to follow you wherever you go. You cannot escape it, Israel. You think you're doing good because you selling a little drugs right now. You got a little money. Oh, he ain't talking to me. The Lord is so cold with how he do his business. He lets you get all the way to the top. Have you noticed that you will get there and the drug dealer take all his money and keep it in his pocket. He don't try to help nobody. He try to play God himself. He walk around, buy all these new clothes and new things for himself, and then he might go to his girlfriends and hide some of the money. They come get her all the money. All they nest eggs is in one spot, and they get popped off. Selfish, they won't help nobody, but know how to kill and get more money. That's upon you for a sign, because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and gladness of heart and abundance of all things. Therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies, get this, which the Lord shall send against thee. He said, I'm sending these people against you. You in this land, the Lord sent these people against you. And what he sends you against you in? In hunger and in thirst and in nakedness, in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck. So what group of people had a yoke of iron on their neck? I don't know a lot of people, but let's see who some of those people with the yokes of iron look like. Just for old time's sake. That's the people. Oh, they look like you. Let's look. Let's see. Oh, he was serious. He put a yoke of iron on your neck, brothers and sisters. That's your kids. Look at them kids. This was your condition then. This is your condition now. And look behind you. That's not a Gentile behind them with them yokes of iron on their necks, brothers and sisters. A yoke of iron upon y'all neck. Look. God made foolproof. Remember I read to you when I first started off? He poured these curses upon you. He poured these curses upon you, and he ain't take them back. He is not taking them back. A yoke of iron on your neck. 48. Therefore, thou shalt serve their enemies and hunt all things. Let's go to 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against you from the far end of the earth, who's swift as an eagle, a nation whose tongue y'all should not understand. So y'all can't understand the tongue y'all got when y'all came over into captivity. How in the heck can you speak Hebrew all of a sudden now? How is it possible? You've been over here all the time. Who taught it to you? So where did you get Yahweh Mashiach from? Your brother. The one that sent the police and trained them how to get you. He taught you all that talking. You didn't know none of these languages. You want everybody's language except your own. You are children of slaves, brothers and sisters. 63. And it shall come to pass that the Lord rejoiced over you to do good and multiply you. So the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you and bring you to naught, and you shall be plucked up off the land where thou goest to possess it. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even to the other, and there should y'all serve other gods, which nor thy nor thy fathers even wood and stone. I showed you that, right? So among these nations thou shalt find no ease. The sole of thy feet shall have rest, but the Lord shall give thee a trembling heart and failing eyes and sorrow of mind. Let me give you something that what happened. I'm not going to even lie to you. I got on both of my cars, I got insurance. Everything is paid for. I don't owe no note. I don't do nothing. But every time I go past, everything's up to date. When I see a police, man, I'm serious. I be like, they get behind me and ride for 5 minutes, man. I'll be sitting there saying, why? I'll be pulling into places, ain't even going to these places, getting out the road to get him from behind me. And all my stuff is legit. So I got the Lord now. It's a little bit better, but guess what? We even still don't get too out of our britches because we know that the Lord sent this upon you. So you got to be totally terrible. I know you know what I'm talking about. Even if you don't know you Israel, ask yourself, when the police come around you, do you see it? You got none assurance of your life. It ain't no telling or not whether you're going to get killed in that encounter with the police, brothers and sisters. So Let's go and make further proof. 65. And the Lord shall scatter among these nations, thou shalt find no ease, neither the sole of thy feet. The Lord shall give thee a trembling heart and sour mind. 68, 66. And their life shall hang in doubt before, and thou shalt fear day and night. And they have no assurance of thy life. You ain't got no assurance of your life. You don't have no job. You don't have no money. You don't know where your next meal is going to come from. You arguing with your old lady. You're drinking 24 hours a day, sitting up like Tupac say with that shotgun all day, looking out the window, mad as all outdoors for everything you seeing, and you blaming it on everybody else, but won't come to the Lord. And here go another one, 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake thee, thou shalt not see it no more. And there shall be sold unto enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and nobody shall buy you. So I'm going to ask you this, because they keep saying that the Puerto Ricans and the Indians and the Mexicans was on these ships too, and all the signs of Deuteronomy point to them along with us. I got some of these ships right here. Who do this look like on these ships, brothers and sisters? Look at how they bought you over here. You see that? So if the man on top of you got to go to the bathroom, this is bad. This is your real life condition. One nation of people. I don't see no Mexicans and Indians on here. Look at how they lined you up, brothers and sisters. That's how it actually looked. You see that? It was 40,000 ships filled to the rim with an average of 600 on them that came in lands and scattered you out all across the world, brothers and sisters. Look at the ships and look at the people. Where are the Mexicans and the Puerto Ricans and all these people that they saying are Israel? Israel is laughing at you in your land, eating your porridge, because you won't even lay it to heart. I got to let you see that one more time. Got to go through them one more time. I don't see none but dark-skinned people that look like they from the west side of Chicago to me. Okay? Let's get back to the story so we got 2 or 3 more places to go, and we're going to close it out. And I'm going to let the Lord tell you this, because after all of this stuff, you would not turn to the Lord. You will not turn into the Lord. It's just unbelievable to me that he's seeing, but you got to realize this Lord is coming. So you don't want to turn to him? Okay. He going to continue to do what he do. And he going to make full proof. This was him in the Old Testament. This is him in the New Testament. And when he come, he got his reward with him, and he going to serve it to you first, Israel. Isaiah 9, verse 13. You won't turn to him. So let's let him tell you. You don't believe he's doing it. You keep saying the white man did this, that, and another. Ain't nobody did nothing to you but yourself and your God. This is between you and him. You can't make this up. This book ain't lying. This book is not lying, brothers and sisters. Isaiah 9. Isaiah 9. Here we coming. I got to get like Chuck. He actually got me real bad with going to those scriptures in that book, boy. Woo! I'm going to start practicing, Chuck. Isaiah 9, 13 through 20. Listen what the Lord said about you and your stubbornness. Remember, he said this is a rebellious house, and he told them to write in the book about these people. Isaiah wrote that in the book, and look what he said right here. This is the Lord talking. For the people turneth not unto him that smited them, neither do they seek the Lord of hosts. Therefore, the Lord will cut off from Israel the head and tail, branch and rush in one day. The ancient and honorable, that's your old people and them good, strong dignitary, the honorable church people, the reverend most doctor, bishop. He is the head, and the prophet that teaches lies, he is the tail. You know what he's talking about? The ones that's leading you get up every Sunday morning on another day. The Lord say he's the Lord of the Sabbath. Well, I ask a question. Well, who in the heck is the Lord of this first day of the week? Because the Lord said he the Lord of the Sabbath. That's just a question that everybody get up and go in on a Sunday morning. Who is the Lord of the first day of the week? Who is the Lord of Sunday? Because the Lord said right here, y'all leaders, that's most of our people, that's the most of us. He is the head, the prophet that teaches lies. He is the tail. For the leaders of this people cause them to err, that they are led of them and are destroyed. So that means telling me that if you look at our condition, he's saying y'all condition is this way, brothers and sisters, because the people y'all go into on the wrong day on a Sunday are causing you to be destroyed. You don't know my laws. You don't remember yourself. You don't honor my Sabbath. You hate being corrected. You are a rebellious, stiff-necked people, and this is your punishment that's coming to you forward. A dark cloud shall descend upon you wherever you go. Therefore, the Lord shall have no joy in their young men. So if the Lord, how does that look if the Lord don't have no joy in our young men? That means they're going to get killed on the streets, brothers and sisters. The Lord said, I have no joy in your young men. This is the Bible I'm reading. This ain't me talking. My friend that called me from the job earlier today, he think that I'm crazy and losing my mind. I said, brother, I ain't doing nothing reading out of this book. Therefore, the Lord shall have no joy in their young men. I never heard Jesus talk like that, have you? And I'm going to prove him further that is him. Neither shall have mercy on the fatherless and widows, for everyone is a hypocrite and an evildoer, and every mouth speaketh folly. For all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. The Lord said, I'm not taking my hand off this people. I'm going to continue to stretch it out and put it on you. So turn from your ways if you don't want it, or don't complain to nobody when you got to say, we ain't got no insurance to bury our young men because the Lord is killing them. He's telling you this. He said, for those that smited you, I'm smiting you, won't even turn to me. For wickedness burneth as fire, it shall devour briars and thorns, and shall kindle the thickets of the forest. They shall mount up like the lifting of smoke. Through the wrath of the Lord of hosts, his land darkened. Remember that dark cloud? And the people shall be as fuel of the fire. No man shall spare his brother. Are you seeing this? You still don't believe it's you. But he said, nobody ain't gonna spare his brother. How many of you young Israelites, they killing each other in the street about nothing? Over girls, over drugs, over corners. You can't even spell the name of the stop sign that you standing up under, but you killing over it because you're making a few dollars. And he shall snatch on the right hand and be hungry, and he shall eat on the left hand, and they shall not be satisfied. They shall eat every man flesh of his own arm. And look, I know that sounds crazy to you, but that's the time that you're getting ready to enter on again, brothers and sisters. Like I told you, you are used to dealing with the good old lamb. Jesus, the lamb that gave his life for the world. Womp, 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 womp. Well, let me introduce you to the lion. Not Lucius Lion of Empire, the Lion of the tribe of Judah. He's coming back, and I'm telling you, he's coming back with a vengeance, brothers and sisters. Deuteronomy 32. We got two more spots after this. Deuteronomy 32. Pay attention to this. He say he's coming back. You don't believe him. Deuteronomy 32, brothers and sisters. You don't know that this is you. I wish I could sing a song. I'll sing it to you. And I ain't kidding either. Verse 23. I will heap mischiefs upon them. As the Lord said this, I will spend my arrows upon them. They shall be burnt with hunger. We the hungriest people in the world. We'll be standing by Popeye's chicken and Kentucky Fried Chicken. And I promise you, this is how mad we are. I went and sent the guy standing in the drive-thru line, and he needed some food. He said, I want some food. I ain't got nothing to eat, brother. Can you help me out? I said, matter of fact, Go on in, come on in the store. I'll go in there with you. You can get anything you want off the menu. You know what he said? You mother so-and-so, I don't need nobody to go and bat me and do nothing, this, that, and other. You know what he wanted? He wanted drugs, madness. I got my food and drove right on off. I said, this don't make no sense. None whatsoever. They shall be burnt with hunger and devoured with burning heat and with bitter destruction. I will also send the teeth of beasts upon them with the poison of serpents of the dust. The sword without and terror within shall destroy both the young man and the virgin, the suckling also with the man of gray hairs. So listen, the Lord said this, the ones that got great, look at this gray beard. Man, them young boys don't care about nothing they see or do. They will destroy you. This is Israel. This ain't happening in no other community. Go stand over in any one of these other countries. It ain't like it is here. They compare Chicago to Iraq. They call it Chirac. Back when I was young, we used to call it Beirut. Lebanon, and I didn't even know Lebanon was your actual home. We used to call it that. Wow, go figure. I said I would scatter them in the corners, and I would make the remembrance of them cease from among men. Were it not that I feared the wrath of the enemy, lest their adversaries should behave themselves strangely, and lest they should say, our hand is high, and the Lord have not done all this. You say that right now. I told my family members on one of their little prayer lines that I read them curses out. Boy, my good old auntie, my mother's sister, and my man, they kicked me off so fast. That was the first time I knew I was in the right place, because the book had told me that this word, when you get it, it's going to be bittersweet in your mouth. But soon as you think you got something good and you start going to tell your family this truth, boy, they're going to make it bitter in your stomach. And all of us brothers right here can attest to it, because we go on all these little talk shows and all these things and tell these people, they look at us like we are dung. They think that we are nuts. Everybody else is acceptable, and I'm talking about it's brotherly love among everybody else, but let us go and say, oh, we Israel. What is wrong with you? Comments on our page calling us cowards and all this stuff. Sweet to your mouth, brothers and sisters, but bitter in your belly. For they are a nation void of counsel, neither is there any understanding in them. Oh, that they were wise and they understood this, that they would consider their latter end. If you knew that you had a better latter end coming to you, brother and sister, you wouldn't have been acting this way. This is insanity. Please pay attention to this book. Get into somebody that's actually reading out of the book. If he start telling you what's on his mind, you're in the wrong spot. The Lord don't need nobody to translate his book. He translated it for you already. Drop down to 36. For the Lord shall judge his people. He's doing that, brothers and sisters. The Lord is judging his people. When is he going to do it? He's doing it right now today when he's seeing that. Will you see this? Because that's a judgment when somebody's dying early. We know 17-year-olds shouldn't be getting murdered in the street like that with gunshots and bullets all over his body. That's judgment. It don't take a rocket science to see who this happening to. Look at all over the world. I know they're killing people elsewhere, but look at your rate. That's judgment on them too, but you 7 times more. Okay? And repent himself for his service when he seeth that their power is gone and there's none shed up or left. And he shall say, where are their gods? Where are their gods? He got a little G right there. That's why they say, ain't no God but me. In Isaiah 44, that they always reading, like the good pastor yesterday was reading, and he's going to challenge my boy Eddie Israel when he went to 44 and said, there's no God beside me. It's a little G right there. He ain't talking about the Father. You're the only God he ever dealt with. He told you in John 5:37, you have never seen his voice or seen his shape at any time. How do you get around that? Jesus is the